We continue our quest to learn the Hebrew vowels. This is the last video of inductive learning the vowels before we stop in the next video and systematically look at the Hebrew vowels. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Jonah 1:3. You saw this before with the consonants. Now let's see what these points and squigglies are. You know a lot of them already, most of them, maybe all of them in fact. Let's look. So what's that one there, the flat line? It's a patak. What's the vav, by the way? You don't need to know what the vav is yet, but when the vav is on the beginning of a word, it's probably the word and. So the vav is and that's a patak, which is an A. It's a normal A. So we would pronounce this as wa, or the is the way I pronounce it. What's this one? It's a kamatz, a long A. What's this one? Trick question. It's still a kamatz, a long A. So this is va ya kam, vayakam. And he arose. Who arose? Well, in Hebrew, as we will soon have hammered into our heads, the verb generally comes first, and then the subject of the verb. So this is yod, and what is this? This is a piggyback letter. It's a vowel. It's a holum vav, a long O. So yo. And then what's this one again? It's kamatz hey. Again, the hey is a piggyback for the kamatz. So this is yo na, vayakam Yonah, and Jonah arose. All right, so we have a holum vav and we have a kamatz hey. This is a long O, this is a long A. Okay, what's this one? This is a hirik. It's just a little I. I'm just a little I. Now, okay, so this is a Schwa. You may know that it's a Schwa. But what you probably don't know is that this is a silent Schwa. Now, you don't have to worry about, how would I know that? Well, we'll talk about that when we do a video on the dagashes and the Schwas. We'll do a video like that. I might even do two videos. I may separate it out. Probably will separate it out and do two videos. But this is a silent Schwa, which basically means that it closes the syllable. So this is just live. That's one little syllable, live. And there's no, the Schwa simply says, this syllable is closed. And so live is that syllable. What's that one? Same thing we had here. Holum, okay? So live ro. This is a chet, so it's live roch. Now, you may not have noticed, but to get from O to ch, you have to stick a little A in there. So live roch, live roch. That's called a furtive patak. It's a patak, but it's a furtive patak. It's a little A, just a little bit of A to get from the O to the ch. So live roch is the way you would pronounce that, and that's a patak. All right, next word. What's that one again? It's a patak, right? It's a patak. And this, again, I won't tell you how I know, but this is a silent schwa. This syllable's closed. It makes no sound. It simply closes the syllable. So this is tar. You've heard of the Tar Heels in North Carolina. This is the tar. So we have va ya kam Yonah, and Jonah arose, live roach, to flee, tarshisha, to Tarshish. So this is patak. This is a silent schwa. This syllable's closed. This is a what? A hirik yod. It's a combo. It's a Big Mac meal. It's a hirik yod. The yod is piggybacking the hirik on it. So tarshish, and then sha. What's this? Kamatz hey. All right. To Tarshish. Okay, mem, what's that one again? We've seen that there, and we saw that there. What is it? It's a hirik, okay? And there's another hirik. So, milif, another silent schwa. This syllable's closed. Again, I won't tell you how I know it's a silent schwa rather than a vocal schwa, but it is. There's a lot of silent schwas in this verse for some reason. So, milif ne, seri yod. That's a piggyback. Just like hirik yod is a piggyback, seri yod is a piggyback. So it's pronounced A. That's a sere. A, sere. Okay, sere. No, that's not how it goes. Anyway, so it's milifne, from before Yahweh, Yahweh. Those vowels are not the right vowels. Those are the vowels of the word for Lord, Adonai. The Masoretes didn't want to put the real vowels there. They put the vowels somewhat for Adonai. This is, by the way, the word for that, the what we call that a kathiv kareh in Hebrew. Kathiv, written, kareh, read. So it's written one way, it's spoken another way. It's written Yahweh, but it's spoken Adonai. So the vowels, this is a vocal schwa. I can go ahead and tell you that under the beginning of a syllable, it's always a schwa is always a vocal schwa. These silent schwas are at the end of a syllable. Again, you don't need to know all that now. I'll do a video later on it. But this is what? Kamatz he. So we have Vayakam and arose, Jonah, livroach, to flee, Tarshisha, to Tarshish, milifne, from before Yahweh. And I've already given you the translation. All right, next line. So what's that? On the next line, the vowel under the first letter in the next line, it's a patak. And what is that vav at the beginning of that word? It's the word and. Okay, what's the second vowel here on that word? It's a sere. And then what's this third vowel in this first word? It's a sagol. So the sere is a long E, the sagol is a normal E. So we have, in terms of how it's transliterated when we're writing it in English. So this is vayered is how this is pronounced, this first word on the second line. Vayered, and he went down is what it means. What's this letter under the yod and the next word? It's a kamatz. What's the word at the end of the second word? It's a cholam vav, piggybacking on a vav. Yafo. And he went down Joppa. He went down to Joppa. That's the coastal city, the port city. Next word, vav, which is what? It's the word and. And what's the vowel under the vav? It's a patak. All right. And then what's the vowel under the yod? It's a hirik. And then this shava, it's a shava under the mem. It's a silent shva. This syllable is closed. So it's vayim. And then the next vowel is what? Before the aleph, it's a kamatz aleph. So vayimza. And he found the next vowel under the aleph is kamatz. What's the vowel under the nun? It's a hirik. What is the combination at the end of this word? It's kamatz he. So aniyah, a ship. And he found a ship. Next word, second to last word on that second line. What's under the bait? It's a kamatz. What's under the aleph? It's a kamatz he. So ba'ah, a ship going Tarshish to Tarshish. What's under the tav? It's a patak. What's under the resh? It's a shava. And I'm going to tell you it's a silent schwa. This syllable's closed. Tar. Again, tar heel, tar. Okay. What's under the sheen? It's a hirik yod. E is how it's, a long I is how it's transliterated. So Tarshish. So that second line is Vayered, Yafo, Vayimza, Aniyah, Ba'ah, Tarshish. And he went down Joppa, and he found a ship going Tarshish. All right, third line. This is a long verse. What's under the vav on that third line? It's a patak. And what's the vav, by the way? You don't need to know yet officially, but what is the vav? It's the word and. What's under the second letter? It's a hirik. What's under the third letter? It's a sere. Sere. A long E, even though it's pronounced A. Don't ask why, just I'll systematize this in the next video. So this is vayatain, and he gave. So this is a scene, and what's under the scene? It's a shava, and it's at the beginning of a syllable. So what kind of a shava is it? It's a vocal shava. So this is a s, is how that's pronounced. What's up? So s. What's the next vowel? Kamatz. What's next vowel? Kamatz. So it's sakara. And then the next word, we've already had this word before, right? Vav patak. What does vav mean when it's the beginning of a word? It's and. So and then we have a, what's under the second letter? It's a sere, a sound. What's the third letter? Segol, and a normal E. So this is vayered. He went down. Next word is ba. And what's the vowel? It's a kamatz, a long A. And what's the vowel under the lamed? It's a kamatz, it's a long A. And what's that second vowel in lavo? It's a holem vav. It's a holem, a long O, piggybacking on a vav, lavo. And then under the ayin, the last word, hirik. What's under the mem? Kamatz. What's under the hay? Segol. So it's imahem, with them. So this next line is, and he gave its fare, and he went down in it to go with them. Final words for this verse. Tarshisha, again. What's the first vowel under the tav? It's a patak. What's the next vowel? It's a shava, but it's finishing the syllable, so it's a silent schwa. This syllable's closed. Tar. What's the next vowel? Piggybacking with a yod? It's a hirik yod. It's an E sound, transliterated as a long I. Don't ask why, just memorize or die. And then finally, a kamatz hey at the end. So tarshisha, to Tarshish. Next word, we've seen this all before. First vowel under the mem, hirik. Next vowel under the lamed, it's the same word. It's a hirik. And then the shava under the pei closes the syllable, lif. And then what's the final vowel of that word, piggybacking with a yod? Sera yod. Milifne, from before. And then Yahweh again, with a vocal schwa and a kamatz, although doesn't go with the word. It's the vowels that go with Adonai. To Tarshish, from before Yahweh. So let me pronounce this whole verse in Hebrew. Vayakam Yonah livroch Tarshisha milifnei Yahweh. Vayered Yafo Vayimza Aniyah Ba'a Tarshish. Vayetain Sekara Vayered Ba Lavo Imahem Tarshisha milifnei Yahweh. And that is the vowels of Jonah 1:3.